Hi everyone, I noticed that people are posting videos of how they set up their cage on YouTube, and I got some really good cage ideas from that and loved watching them and seeing how people set them up. So I thought I would do one of mine. So just down here I have the yesterday's news. That's what I've been trying out for their bedding. This is their bucket of their rat mix. I need to go get them some more, as you can see that this is full, but lots of it is stuff that's not the Oxbow. I buy the Oxbow Regal Rat for the adults, and this is just some extra oats and dried egg noodles that I've mixed in. I usually give some of them that, probably not as much as this. I'm just gonna grab more food. So I do give them some other stuff though to keep it interesting. This, I don't know what's called, table dresser kind of thing. Actually, I got it on the side of the road. As you can see, like, it's a little bit broken here and stuff, and I just kind of glued it. But I didn't want to spend money on something that was really expensive because it's just for my rat cage anyway, so it might get like messed up. Comes with wheels on the bottom, so it's really great. I can move it. There's a drawer on the bottom, but I actually just keep, this is just my food stuff in there, out of the way. But the great thing is, it came with this sliding drawer. So then I have my buckets here. This one for towels for the rats. This one is just like a litter pan and extra stuff for them, water bottles, chews, extra litter boxes and stuff like that. So that's down there. And then I got the rat cage. I'm not sure actually which brand it is. Oh, here's maybe the brand here. I got it with a whole bunch of stuff off a friend for 50 bucks because they were no longer going to be keeping rats. So I just cleaned the cage, so it's going to be all nice and clean for the tour. So on the bottom I just have one of those igloo houses. They really like this. They really actually seem to like the wooden one better. I have a wood one that came with the cage when I bought it. And this is that one. I use this for when they come out to play because it's got the holes in it and stuff. The only thing I don't like about this one is because it is wood, so smells and stuff are harder to get out, and I've always been worried because my little guys have gotten health issues, like respiratory issues, and I want them like sneezing or peeing on there and it having germs or something. So as well as I took out all the wood perches. These, I don't know if you can see that, snap onto the cage, and then they're like these little holders, and there used to be wood pieces that slid in here, and I had 2 of them. I got rid of them because I couldn't get the smell out of them, and I was worried about not being able to clean them properly. So then I went to the dollar store. This is just a bin that actually I put one of these on this side and one on the other side, and actually it holds this up. I just put a clip there so that this doesn't fall. But yeah, really easy, just from the dollar store. These are from the dollar store too. They're in the baby section, shoe toys, dollar store food bowl. It actually has a cat on it, which is kind of funny. This came with the cage when I bought it. These just actually, I was putting like a toque or a beanie in the cage, and these actually fell off. So I just thought they might like to play with them. I'm not so sure if that's a good idea. Like, I'm not sure if they could choke on the stuff from them. I might just keep an eye on them and see how that goes. And then this is also a tube that came with the cage. It hooks just up onto the cage, and I mean, they just like to run through there to get down to different places, so I put it so it goes from this ledge kind of down to the bottom there. That's obviously their water bottle. It's kind of fallen over, but it's okay. They can still use it. That's their litter pan down there. And then, of course, there's just a paper towel tube. Then these are just, you know, old blankets or rags or stuff that I don't need anymore. I thought this one was really cute. I buy these dog frisbees. So this is like material in here, and then this is like a rope. And then I hang them in the cage with like some pipe cleaners, and then I just bought some clips online for like $1 or $2. I got like a bag of them. And then they actually use these as hammocks, and they love these because I can clip, I only have one in here right now, but I used to clip a couple of them in all the corners. So they sit here and they like to sit by the corners and like to sit up high and stuff and just watch, and they just love those. And it's been summer, so it was hotter, and I find those are really good because then, like, this isn't super fuzzy stuff, so they can kind of just, like, hang their head off here or whatever, and it's not as warm. So they like to chill out on those. Up here, this is just a homemade shoe. There's, like, a dog treat thing on the bottom. And then these are just, like, sticks. And these round things are actually... These, I don't know if you can see, those are actually wood buttons that I got from the store, and I just put them all on a pipe cleaner and hang it in the cage. This is actually rawhide. I've heard a lot of people saying that they're not sure if this is actually safe for rats because they could choke on it and such. I was just trying it out. I've had it before and had no problems, and so I put it back in to see. So far, it just seems like they just like to gnaw on it. Again, I want to double check, just watch them, do a little bit more research. And then this is just like a salt block. I don't even think they really use that. I just got it because they kept licking when I first got them, they kept licking my fingers, and I thought they like needed salt and minerals, and then I found out that's just because they like you. But anyways, if they want to use that, it's there anyways. This is just a blanket, like a pet blanket for $3 from the dollar store. It's like kind of like a fleece. And then these again are just clipped on. I use a lot of these shower rings from the dollar store. And then these of course came in the package I got off like eBay for like $1 or $2 of clips. And then more baby rings. In the back, there's a rope. This is actually a dog toy from the dollar store. It was like a couple dollars. They like to kind of climb on this to help get them from one platform to the other. I got it just in case they want to chew on it. This again is another bucket from the dollar store. It actually hangs. And then I was just trying to see if they'd use this as a litter box. So I put some litter in there for them. And then I just bought a hamster cage off Craigslist for $10. Someone wasn't needing it anymore, and it came with a water bottle, actually. $10 for the cage and the water bottle. This is actually the bottom of the cage, which now I use as like a litter pan when they're out playing and stuff. It works great. It actually had a crack. That's why it was just like $10. I mean, I probably could have almost gotten one free, but anyways, this is like an extra spot I can hang water bottle. So I attached this just with pipe cleaners. I just opened the top of the cage as a door just like this, and I just opened it up, and then just attached with pipe cleaners all the way around. They've never tried to escape out of there. They're actually, when I leave the cage door open, they don't even leave when I'm not home anyways. So I'm not ever really too worried. The ladder again also came with the cage. It is wooden, but it's not as much wood. I usually soak it. You can soak it with a little bit of like fragrance-free soap or like Pet Safe soap. Soak it with a little bit of vinegar in water for a while so that all the, like, it'll be nice and clean. So I just soaked it so it actually looks like it came out really nice and clean. This is my little guy Romeo. Hi buddy. And they're just sleeping again on, this is just a plastic tub that I got from the dollar store, and I just hung it up in here because they really like high places. Hi, that's Pip. So yeah, they're just sleeping up there, and attached is just kind of, I mean, I tried to attach it, sorry guys, in a way so that it was kind of open. This is just like a toque or beanie, whatever you like to call it. And I actually use these a lot in my cage in the winter, not so much in the summer when it's warm. Here, I'm just gonna grab it so I can show you what I'm talking about. Oh, about using it. So here's like the toque or beanie, and what I do is I get the ones with the strings. And then you can just hang them up in the cage and they'll actually go down inside there and just snuggle up all inside. And then it's really easy because if they chew it, it was only like $1. Depending on the dollar store, these are $1.25 to $3, actually $3.50. And I prefer to get the $1.25 ones. This was actually just a gift, but you can see it started falling apart. So I stopped wearing it because the stitching was coming loose and stuff. But sorry, buddy. I'll put this back in for you. I thought the ratties would love it. They don't really care if stitching has come loose or anything. That's not a big deal for them. So there, put that back in. They just really like this spot up here. It's up nice and high. It's higher above here so they can like see me and such. They seem to like to watch me when I'm sitting on my computer and know where I am and stuff. So I think that covered everything. So again, the cage was $50. Came with a bag of food. The tube in here, actually that igloo, 2 food bowls. That I actually have one of them in here, the food bowl. This house, a bag of Carefresh, and I think that was everything that came with the cage, just $50, just off someone who didn't need it anymore. It's a really good way on Craigslist. Lots of people say that they don't need their cages anymore, or even, I mean, if I didn't have my ratties, there's lots of people who are giving away a couple rats that they can't take care of anymore with the cage and everything with them, and that would have been something I would have considered because I like to rescue rats. I don't like them to end up at shelters and stuff like that because they get overcrowded. And whoops, I better get this set up that a little bit better, attach it to the cage a little bit better. So yeah, the cage was just $50 with all that stuff, and then everything else that's in here I think is all from the dollar store actually, or used blankets and such. So I didn't actually spend that much because if you count up everything, I mean, that's in here right now, this was also free. A couple dollar store tubs, so $50 for the cage. Let's say like, I mean, some of these I guess I bought, but like the stuff that's in here right now would be like all the blankets that were already used were free. So a couple dollars for this, a couple dollars for some of the toys. It's like $5, maybe like $10 worth of stuff in there. So that's only like $60 for the whole cage setup. And then these are just easy. You can just take them out and clean them. Luckily, my guys don't really chew, so I don't have that problem. I don't know if you can tell from the video, but the cage is big enough for 3 rats. They each get more than 2 square feet, even without this. So that's just extra. I've looked at bigger cages because I know they like to climb around and stuff, but then again, my guys are pretty old now, so, I mean, sometimes they don't even go up to the top level, the guy that has issues with his rear legs. So, I mean, if I got baby ones, I feel like it'd be more better to have, like, a bigger cage for them to play in, and, like, females, too. I used to have a wheel. My guys didn't even use the wheel. They were so lazy. They would just, like, store their food on it or under it and stuff. And then actually one time I wanted to get them to use it, so I put a little bit of like I popped a little treat kind of in the center of the wheel, kind of stuck it so that they'd have to climb up to get it, and they actually threw all their bedding onto the wheel so it didn't turn, so they could jump up and get the treat. It was really funny. They're really lazy fat boys. They're big too. They're pretty fat. So yeah, and then the food, I guess the Carefresh is kind of expensive, or sorry, the Yesterday's News is kind of expensive. It's $20 for a bag. I'm pretty sure this will actually last me quite some time. This isn't the whole bag. There's actually, it ripped, and this is like the rest of it. It's huge. So, and then the food is also $15. It will be more like 20 some other places. But if you are, I'm not sure if they have these anywhere else, but in Surrey they have a place near King George Highway. It's called Pet Solutions, and I found it's much, much better, like food-wise, even, I mean, a couple things are really expensive there, but I find like toys and stuff like that is actually a lot cheaper there. And I find their brands are actually safer for pets, and people know what they're talking about, as in comparison to like a big commercial branch. Like, I don't really want to name one, but like one of the big branches of pet stores, I find like aren't as helpful. So anyways, I go to this place and they have lots of the Oxbow stuff, which I think is a really good brand. Well, rat wise anyways, the pellets are really good for them, and they have lots of stuff, lots of treats that are made out of natural things, like yam bites. They're like little cooked pieces of yam, or they have for your dog like meat bones, or like pieces of pig's ears and stuff like that, which I think is a good chew for your dogs in comparison to maybe some of the other treats that you can get for dogs that are full of wheat and stuff like that. So yeah, I guess that's it. That's the cage, and a couple tips about how to save some money, get it used, reuse stuff, or I mean, if you have like any kind of old clothes that are ripped anyways and you can't give them away to someone who can reuse them, yeah, if they're ripped and stuff, you can create them into like hammocks. If it's shirts with long sleeves, you can tie the sleeves to the bars of the cage and kind of make into a hammock that way. Of course, you can see like this is a homemade hammock. The toques or beanies are a homemade hammock. Yeah, lots of dollar store products. I mean, I went to the dollar store and they now have $4 fleece blankets, and they're decently sized. Like, they're big enough to cover like a bed or a couch, and then I cut them into strips and I can just use those in the bottom of the cage. So they end up costing like $1 for each little blanket to put in. So yeah, I wouldn't recommend spending a ridiculous amount of money, just because, I mean, obviously get them stuff that's safe and good for their health. Don't cheap out on like food. That would be a big thing. Like, I wouldn't cheap out on my food, but just because rats are usually, well, I guess I got mine for like 2 for $10, and then the third one was $5. So they're pretty cheap, and they only live a couple years. So I just didn't see the point in spending tons of money on them. I mean, when it was their birthday, I bought new bat bins for them and stuff like that. I mean, I actually ended up just kind of buying them, but I kind of said it was for their birthday because I spent like $30 on new little things for them and stuff. But yeah, otherwise I don't really recommend spending a ridiculous amount of money, because